Megabonk is in one of those genres that I've never been quite sure if I really want to get into it or I want to try it. A lot of the time, I think it's because of the camera placement and the art style of a lot of those other games in this genre that drove me away from really enjoying or honestly trying the genre. To me, a lot of them just didn't look very good or very fun. So I never really tried or got into that genre until Megabonk. I hope you guys are having a royal day or night, whatever it is for you. And let's talk about Megabonk. Megabonk has gotten me addicted to it recently. It's a 3D take on the survivor/bullet heaven roguelike genre, and I think there are 4 reasons that make it such a good game in the genre and like for me personally. And I would say there's like 2 things that I don't really care for in the game, but we'll get to those at the end. The first reason that I really like Megabonk is that it's a very fast game. And I mean that in 2 ways. One, there is very little downtime outside of the runs, and inside the runs, there's a very fast and good pace to it. Outside of the runs, you're not doing a whole lot between runs. Turn in any of the quests you've completed in your last run and spend your silver in the shop or unlocks menu, and then jump right back in and do another run. There is so little downtime outside of runs, unlike a game like Ball X Pit, where you're doing all of this stuff with the town and gaining resources outside of the actual runs. It feels like it takes a lot longer just to get back into a run with Ball X Pit compared to Megabonk. And the runs in general in Megabonk are well paced. Enemies constantly spawn near you, so you never have to go find where they are in the level. You're always dealing damage and eliminating enemies, and your character is always getting stronger, but so are the enemies. In Megabonk, I never feel bad about losing either, because I can get back in so quick and do another run. In something like, Doom Ultra Nightmare, I feel bad about dying quickly, but I've never felt that way in Megabonk. Or a better comparison would be to something like Ball X Pit, where if I die early, I feel bad, kind of, because I didn't get very many resources to upgrade the town. So now I have to do the town stuff and then go back into the run. And I didn't, in like Ball X Pit, I don't feel great about losing quick. Where Megabonk, I'm fine with losing quick because I can just hop right back in. And I think a lot of that, like not feeling bad about it and the run being fast paced, has to do with the random similarity of the runs. And that's the second reason why I think it's such a good game in this genre, because the game has certain things locked down in the code, which balances out the randomness of the rest of the game. Let's take a forest run, for example. The stuff that's locked down is your character's starting stats, your starting weapon for that character, the enemy you'll face right away, the timers for when the mini bosses and swarms spawn, and the time you have to complete the level. Everything is locked down into a static state, basically, where everything else in the run is fully random. The weapons and tomes you get on level up, the items you find in chests, the level itself when it spawns, when the types of enemies will spawn, what types of enemies will spawn. All of that is random. But having those things that I mentioned being locked down for the basics of a run just helps the game work really well, because it keeps everything similar, but there's still enough difference every run to keep it fresh and fun each time. And speaking of the runs, Megabonk has a good challenge to it. But before we talk about that third thing, the challenge of Megabonk, I just want to pop in and say, if you are liking the video, please do all the algorithm stuff for it. Hit like, subscribe, leave a comment on what you think of Megabonk, if you have played it or if you've watched it being played. Hell, if you're watching the video, tell me what your thoughts are on it. And now let's get back to that third thing that I think makes Megabonk great, the challenge. Megabonk can be a challenging game, especially as you go for higher kill count runs, because the game has a leaderboard and it tracks your friends and global. It resets every like 24 hours, except for the friend one that stays for like the highest you've gotten. And it kind of like, it kind of pushes you into going for higher kill count runs. And the challenge comes from a combination of the enemies getting stronger as you go farther into each 10-minute level, and going up in tiers, and what build you decide to go for and what upgrades you get for each of the parts of your build. if you just get common and uncommon upgrades, you're gonna struggle as you get later on into the runs. If you grab things for a build that don't really synergize well together, the run's gonna get difficult later on. The only way to prevent it getting impossible is by knowing how you want to build and what you want to use from the beginning so you can, easily build up to that. The way that I've been aiming for those kind of late end runs and that I would suggest is getting the XP tome as early as you can so you can level up faster and get more upgrades quickly, because that will set you up better for later on into the runs. That and lifesteal are always a good grab, I think. And to be able to progress in the game, sometimes you do need to reach those later stages. And that's the fourth thing that I think is great about Megabonk. I like the progression in Megabonk because I like to unlock things instead of paying for them. Weird concept nowadays, right? So yeah, I like the way that they unlock stuff because the progression is tied to two things normally. Do a task and or unlock an item. For example, the character Calcium. You have to kill 1,000 skeletons to be able to unlock him. And for the ogre, you have to kill 15,000 goblins and unlock the axe weapon. So it's kind of nice to having that, those two tasks that you can aim for as you're going and playing. And doing progression like this keeps the game interesting early on and helps hook the player into the game more to kind of play it regularly, because you can regularly unlock items and try something new each time. Sure, eventually you will get to the point of being done with progression and you're either going to stop playing or you're going to compete against your friends for who can get the highest kill count, which, it adds a goal to the game. And that's kind of what I'm doing. I'm aiming for like a high kill count because I want to try and get, second or first on our leaderboard. And also, one of the other things that helps with the progression is telling the player in the menu how to unlock something. It really helps with that because it gives you a goal to shoot for with each run. And for the two things I kind of dislike about Megabonk, the big thing is I do not like the level generation of the forest level. Like, a lot of the time, I find it just annoying to move around it. With the giant cliffs that enemies can knock you off of and the ramps that slow you down as you walk up them, I just don't like it all that much. And that's really my only major complaint with the game. The other thing that I mentioned for my two kind of pain points with the game is the visual clarity of the game really goes down the longer that the run goes on. Because if you hit the final swarm time, those things are just going to knock you around and it makes the camera go freaking wonky, man. My final thoughts on Megabonk are that it's a really fun game. I like a lot about its gameplay because it balances out the randomness of a roguelike by having some blatantly steady things contained in every single run. And even if the gameplay loop is just running around and picking things up, not, having to hit attack or anything, it just works. It's fun, fast-paced, simple, and kind of dumb, but it works. That's the main thing, is I find the game really fun, kind of addictive, and I'm enjoying my time with it. And I would honestly suggest that you do give it a try if you're into the bullet heaven survivor genres. That doesn't, it doesn't use a lot of roguelike stuff, but it uses enough. Because there's nothing to go and build up, there's nothing to, increase how you're going to survive, how many times you can survive. It's just unlock stuff to try something else. Unlock characters, unlock weapons to just try something different. And that's really all I've got to say about Megabonk. I enjoy it. If you made it this far in the video, please give the video a like if you enjoyed it. Leave a comment with your thoughts on Megabonk. And hell, you might as well subscribe if you're all the way here. I am going to be refocusing my channel a little bit back onto video game topics again. So if you want to hear my thoughts on indie games, AA games, AAA games, do subscribe. But most importantly, I hope you have a royal day or night, and I'll talk to you later. Oh, and if you're still here, I will probably be starting another channel to do the challenges, kind of, keep things focused.